Hi everyone, I welcome all of you in our next class. In this class, we will continue the previous story. This story is written by Leo Tolstoy, and the name of the story is Three Questions. Earlier, we came to know that there was a king, and once three questions came in his mind. He wanted to know the answers to his three questions, so he called wise men of his kingdom, but he was not satisfied with any of the answer. So he decided to go to a wise hermit who was renowned for his wisdom. He lived in the wood and he never quitted that wood. Means he lived in the forest and he only met the common people. So he dressed like a commoner, dismounted from his horse, and went all alone. He left his bodyguards behind. When he reached the hermit was digging earth. He was looking very weak, and the hermit the king pitied the hermit's weakness, and he offered to dig some beds for him. So after digging a few beds, the king went up to him and said, I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you three questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I most need and whom should I therefore pay more attention? And to whom attention to the rest? And what affairs are the most important and need my first attention? The hermit listened to the king but answered nothing. He just spat on his hand and recommenced digging. So when the king approached the hermit was digging earth. He told his questions, but the hermit didn't answer. He just pat on his hand and continued digging. You are tired, said the king. Let me take the spade and work a while for you. The king realized that the hermit was very tired, so he offered some help. Thanks, said the hermit, and giving the spade to the king, he sat down on the ground. So the hermit started taking rest and the king started digging. When he had dug 2 beds, the king stopped and repeated his questions. After digging 2 beds, the king repeated his questions. The hermit again gave no answer, but rose, stretched out his hands for the spade, and said, Now rest a while, let me work a bit. So now also the hermit didn't answer the king's question, but he asked for the spade so he can dig bed, and the king could rest for a while. But the king didn't give the spade and continued to dig. 1 hour passed another. The sun began to sink behind the trees. So the king continued digging, and evening approached. The king at last stuck the spade into the ground and said, I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me none, tell me, so I will return home. So the king said that the wise hermit, I have come to you to know the answers to my questions. If you can answer my questions, it's okay. If you can't answer, tell me, I will go back. Here comes someone running, said the hermit. Let us see, who is it? Now hermit Instead of answering the king's question, he said that, "Just see, someone is coming." The king turned round and saw a bearded man come running out of the wood. The man held his hand pressed against his stomach, and blood was flowing from under them. When he reached the king, he fell fainting on the ground, moaning feebly. So, when the king turned, he saw that one man was coming from the woods. Jungle means from the woods he was coming, and he has pressed his stomach like this, and blood was coming. The king and the hermit unfastened the man's clothing. There was a large wound in his stomach. So king and the hermit, they both put off the clothes of the bearded man, and there was a big wound. There was a large wound in his stomach. The king washed it as best as he could. So king tried his best to wash the wound and bandaged it with his handkerchief and with the towel the hermit had. So means the king dressed the bearded man with his handkerchief and hermit's towel. But the blood wouldn't stop flowing. But blood had not stopped. The king again and again removed the bandage soaked with warm blood and washed and rebandaged the wound. So king did it repeated time and again. When at last the blood ceased blowing. So at last the blood stopped flowing. The man revived and asked for something to drink. Now the man gained his consciousness and he asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. King gave him fresh water. Meanwhile, the sun had set. Now it was evening time, and it had become cool. And the weather has become cool. So the king also, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. So king, with the help of the bearded man, with the help of the hermit, took the bearded man to his hut, and he laid him laid him on the bed. Lying on the bed, the man closed his eyes and was quiet. So after when the bearded man slept, he felt a little better. He closed his eyes and he slept. But the king was so tired with his walk and with the work he had done that crouched down on the threshold. King was also very tired. He had worked for the whole day. He walked also to come to meet the hermit. So he fell asleep on the threshold. Threshold means threshold is called the entrance of room is called threshold. So he fell asleep on the threshold so soundly that he slept all through. Through the short summer night. The whole night he slept. It was summer night, and the king was so tired that he slept on the threshold of the hermit's hut. When he awoke in the morning, it was long before he could remember where he was and who was the strange bearded man lying on the bed and gazing intently at him with shining eyes. The king slept in the way that he forgot everything, that where he was and who was the bearded man. After that he remembered, and he saw that the bearded man was looking at him, looking intently at him with shining eyes. He was looking continuously, gazing. He was actually gazing. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice. Bearded man said to the asked the king for forgiveness. When he saw that the king was awake and he was looking at him, when the bearded man realized that the king was awakened, the king had awakened, he asked for forgiveness. "I don't know you and have nothing to forgive you," said the king. King said that, "I don't know you, and I have nothing to forgive you. Why should I forgive you when I don't know?" Means king thought that he has not done any wrong to me. So why was he asking for forgiveness? "You don't know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who swore to revenge himself on you." Now the bearded man disclosed his identity and introduced himself as the king's enemy, and he also told the reason why he had come there. So he told that he had decided to kill him, and what was the reason for his decision? Because you executed his brother and seized his property. The reason was that the king has executed the bearded man's brother and seized his property. I knew you had gone alone to see the hermit, and I resolved to kill you on way back. So he said that actually, when I came to know that you came all alone to meet the king, meet the hermit. So I decided to kill you on the way back. But the day passed and you didn't return. So I came out from my ambush to find you. But the king was walking with the hermit for the whole day. He was digging earth for the hermit for the whole day. So the king didn't return, and the bearded man lost his patience. He came out of his hiding place. I came upon your bodyguards and they recognized me and wouldn't be. He was seen by, and he was recognized, the bearded man was recognized by the king's bodyguard, and they tried to kill him. He escaped from them. Anyhow, he managed to escape from there, but should have bled to death had you not dressed my wound. But he was wounded severely. If the king would not have dressed him, he would have died. I wished to kill you, and you have saved my life. Now, if I leave, if you wish, I will serve you as your most faithful slave, and will bid my sons to do the same. Forgive me." Now the bearded man realized that he had come to kill the king, and the same king had saved his life. Now he wanted to work for the king. He wanted to become his slave, and he wanted to do the same for his son also. The king was very glad to have made peace with his enemy so easily. The king was very glad that he has made peace with an enemy and to have gained him for a friend. And now the bearded man, who was great enemy, had become a friend. And he not only forgave him, but said he would send his servants and his own physician to attend upon him, and promised to restore his property. Now he promised to restore, means give back his property, and he said that he would send his servants and his physician to look after the bearded man. Having taken leave of the wounded man, the king went out into the porch and looked around for the hermit. Now the king had taken leave from the bearded man. Now he was searching the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to beg an answer to the question he had put. The king thought that once again he would ask his questions if the hermit could answer. The hermit was outside on his knees, sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. So when the king saw the hermit that time the hermit was sowing seeds. The beds they have made the day before, and the hermit was sowing seeds. The king approached him and said, "For the last time, I pray you to answer my questions, wise man." So the king called the hermit wise man and requested to answer his questions. "You have already been answered," said the hermit. The hermit said that all questions had already been answered. Still crouching on his thin leg, looking up at the king who stood before him. He was still on his knees, and he was looking at the king. "How answered? What do you mean?" asked the king. The king asked that how my questions had been answered. "I was waiting for the answer for the whole day, and now you are telling that my questions have been answered." "Do you not see," replied the hermit, "if you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, but had gone your way, the man would have attacked you and you would have repented for that." So he's telling that if you have not pitied my weakness yesterday, you would have returned. The bearded man was looking for you, so he might have killed you, and you might have repented for not staying here. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds. So what was the most important time? It was his first question, that what was the most important time. So the most important was the time when the bearded man the king was digging beds for the hermit. "And I was the most important man, and to do me good was the most important occupation." And his second question was who was the most important man. So by that time the hermit was the most important man, and doing good to the hermit was the most important occupation. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were attending upon him. Second, his first example he had given of himself. Second example he was giving of the bearded man, and he told that when the bearded man time was when you were attending upon him. Bearded man was severely injured, so the king looked after him he dressed his wound, and for if you had not dressed his wound, he would have died without having made peace with you. So if the bearded man would have died, there would have not been friendship, there would not have been peace. So he was the most important business. Remember, then there is the only time that is important, the only time when we have any power. So what was the first question of the king? What was the right time to begin any action? So his answer is, the only time that is important is the time when we have any power. The most necessary man is the man with whom you are. So means with whom the king was, or we can say that the most important person is the person with whom we are. And for no one knows whether he will ever have dealing with anyone else, because no one knows. And the most important affair is to do him good. Means to doing good with the people with whom you are is the most important work to do, is the most important occupation, because for that purpose alone the man was sent into this life. Because according to the bearded man and according to the hermit, the most important occupation is doing good to others, because for that purpose only the man had come to this life. Okay, bye.